Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's event. Today, our speaker is Amanda Merrifield. Amanda is currently a community development specialist at Microsoft and trainer at Microsoft stores. She has been with Microsoft for just over 4 years now and specializes in building communities and empowering Microsoft customers by training them on Microsoft products, such as Microsoft Business Application, Office 365, LinkedIn, and many more topics. Amanda, I'll hand it for you now.
Thank you so much, Faraz. I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here. And we're going to allow a few more minutes just to see if people can join us in the next few minutes in case they're running a little bit late. So stay tuned and we'll see you soon.
Hi, Amanda. Sorry, just to pause for a sec. I think we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with audio. Would you mind just maybe trying to reset your audio, please?
Sure, give me one moment. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, can you all hear me now?
Perfect, we can hear you. Thank you so much, Amanda.
Perfect, thank you. My apologies. So I'm just gonna take a step back here. If you would like to play or pause this event at any point in time, you can feel free to click on the play or pause button. These are your basic meeting controls within a live event, which is what we're using today for this webinar. You can also change the volume as well. And to rewind or fast forward, if you'd like to see a certain step that I go over in the live demo, you can always click on the white dot in your player and drag it back and forth. We also have closed captions available to you as well. So if you click on the CC icon at the bottom left-hand corner, this is where you'll be able to, again, set up those closed captions. And with the cog icon, this is where you'll be able to access your settings for captions and video quality. And then we also have moderators here today, Faraz and Maria, to support you if you have any questions. So if you click on the speech bubbles at the top right-hand corner, this is where you'll be able to toggle the Q&A, and you can ask your question anonymously if you choose. Now, at Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. So today, we're going to cover some productivity tips and tricks on Office 365. And then we're going to learn how we can customize our work experience within Windows 10. And then we will close up with resources and a Q&A. So let's jump into our productivity tips and tricks with Office. Office is a product family that has come to mean productivity. What was once Microsoft Office that only featured Word, PowerPoint, and Excel, it now includes more than 56 apps and services. And the offerings expand every year as we develop new ways to help people achieve more every day. We believe that achieving isn't work, achieving is living, a state of mind and motion filled with passion and purpose. Office is made for those who are remaking today's world in places like homes, schools, coffee shops, and organizations everywhere. So helping them focus their energy together on purpose rather than process. So I'm going to show you some general tips and tricks within Office, and then we're going to go over into a few app-specific demos. So just bear with me one moment. And here we are. We're just starting off with Excel. And we want to just actually go over to Word here. So the first thing that I wanted to mention is that when you go into Office, there is our ribbon here that can help us out. Now, within Office, there are some keyboard shortcuts that are available to you that can help you work a little bit more productively. So what we're going to do is we're just going to drop in some resources in the Q&A for you to use and refer to during this training and also afterwards as well. But we'll also be sure to mention them again during the next steps portion of this demo. Perfect. Sorry, so just give me one moment here. There you go. So the first thing that I wanted to mention here is that you can actually pin files that you use quite frequently within any of the Office applications. So just going back, I'm going to go into Home. And let's say that there are, again, a specific file that I work on, maybe within Word. What I can do is I can actually pin these files or this document here so it stays at the top and it's easily accessible for me. Switching over to Excel, we can also do the same thing by right-clicking. And then we can pin things like a contact list or a channel marketing budget like this one here. And now again, it's going to be easily accessible for us here. So you have a few different ways in which you can actually pin a file. And again, that just helps so it's so easily accessible for us. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you, just going back into Word, this is actually a feature that I learned just recently. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start off by adding in a title. I want to add in a heading. And then I'm going to type some line of text. Now what I want to do is I actually want to format this. So we're just going to change it to a different type of text. Maybe we'll make it a little smaller. And I want to change the color of this text here. Now, another thing that I'm going to do here is I'm just going to, again, change the formatting. Say this is another line of text. Now, there's one tool that can really help you with formatting, especially if you're maybe transferring some content into an Excel spreadsheet or into a Word document or even in a PowerPoint. This Format Painter is a consistent tool that is available across all of the Office applications here. So what does it do? Say I want my text within this line to look exactly like this one here. So rather than me having to go through looking at the formatting properties such as the font and the size and taking a look at the text and manually changing all of that, I can simply highlight and click on the Format Painter. So it copies the format of this line here. And then I can highlight this line. And with a simple click, it just changes everything for us. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you is that with our general applications, we also have some tools like Dictate. So I'm just going to create a new line here. And this Dictate feature will actually type out anything that you are speaking into your microphone. So it's pretty much like speech to text. So I'm just going to demo this to you now. This is a Microsoft Word document. I would like to show the Dictate feature. And I am currently not typing on my keyboard. This Dictate feature is creating all of this text for me. So for the most part, it's pretty accurate. Maybe there's just a few glitches within the spacing here, but this is another really great tool if you prefer to maybe dictate instead of typing everything out for yourself. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to move over to our next application, which is OneNote. OneNote is a really, really powerful tool. It is pretty much like a digital binder for yourself. And the great thing with OneNote is that it can do so many things for you. For me, I use OneNote to keep track of my meetings, any of my notes. I always have a to-do list within OneNote as well. And again, it just keeps everything within one safe space for me. Within OneNote, you have something called sections, which you can kind of think of as tabs or dividers in your binder. And then we have pages. So with this section here, let's just rename this and say projects. And I can rename this one here and put in meetings. I'm going to add in one more and say tasks. And as I right click, I can actually change the colors so it's easier for me to identify these. And if I go into the meetings tab or section, I can now add pages. The great thing with a lot of these Office applications is that they integrate with all of the other applications as well. So if I go into insert, I can actually then attach some meeting details. So if I signed into my Microsoft account, I can connect to my Outlook. And basically what it will do is it'll highlight all of my meeting details, such as who is going to be attending the meeting here, if I have any action items, the date, and the link to the meeting as well. I can also take notes. So just as an example, typically what I like to do is I'll put in the date of the meeting, and then I'll say who it's with. So I can say XYZ Consulting, and then I can start typing out my notes and also include action items. This way I have something that I can refer back to after my meetings. I can always include other things as well, which is super, super helpful, such as attaching a file. And when I attach a file, you can either attach it as a file link, or you can insert an entire printout. You can also insert pictures, online videos, and also audio recordings as well. So this is another great tool that you can use to really help yourself stay productive, keep yourself organized. And even within OneNote, you also have the ability to draw as well. So for those individuals who have touchscreens who prefer to write things out rather than type, you also have this feature that is available to you as well. Now, you may also notice this researcher feature within OneNote. This researcher feature is also a part of the Office 365 application or license. So individuals who are using the standalone version of our applications like OneNote 2016, for example, some of these features that I'm about to mention may not be available to you, but it's really great to highlight for those who do have a Office 365 subscription. So with this researcher tool, again, this is available in OneNote or in Word. You can actually search for things straight from within this application. Rather than having to switch between windows and go into the web browser, I can keep myself on task by searching for things from within OneNote or Word. So just as an example, I can type in a topic and we can say gaming industry. So when I type in gaming industry, it's actually going to pull up a lot of results from Bing, which is Microsoft's search engine. From here, I can explore different types of sources, whether it be journals or websites. We can go into more topics here, get some news, So just as an example, we can look at journals here. And then there's this journal article that says gaming, a teaching strategy to enhance adult learning. So when I click on this, I can then open it up in browser. I can add this source as a citation. But I'm going to show you this feature a little bit more into Word. So let's go over there. Now I'm just going to clear the screen here. And what I want to do is I want to go into Researcher. Now from here, let's do this again, gaming industry. And for some of these sources, you can actually get a preview within this researcher pane. So you can actually get some quotes right away. So let's see if I can actually pull this up here. There you go. So from here, I can actually see the entire article. And then I can, of course, quote certain things here. I can highlight something and put add in cite. So it adds that citation for me. Then it's going to ask me if I want to create a bibliography. So when I click create, I now have this bibliography section here. So within a click of a few buttons, we were able to quickly find some things that we can cite, and Word will automatically build that bibliography for us. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you is the designer feature within PowerPoint. So let's just switch over. And the PowerPoint designer is, again, a feature that is only available to individuals who have a Office 365 subscription. But with Designer, it actually gives you some design ideas. So if you're a type of individual who doesn't really like to worry too much about the look and feel of the presentation, you're more of the content type, then Microsoft PowerPoint actually gives you some recommendations as to how you can design your PowerPoint. And this will just show within the Design Ideas pane. But let's go in, and I actually want to insert a photo. So just as an example, I have a sample photo here, and I'm just going to paste. And now what PowerPoint is doing is that it's giving me some recommendations as to, again, how I can design my PowerPoint here. So I don't really have to worry about jazzing it up and making it look nice. PowerPoint will do this all for me. So it's a really great feature. This, again, will just allow me to focus more on my actual content that I want to present rather than the look and feel of the presentation. Or it can at least give you some suggestions as to how you can design it if you want some inspiration. Now, some other things that I want to show you are some productivity tips within Windows or Windows 10. So I'm just going to close PowerPoint for now, as well as all of these other applications. And the first thing that I want to show you here is Cortana. Cortana is built into Windows 10, and you can think of Cortana as your digital assistant or virtual assistant. When I click on my search bar, just within the taskbar here, I can enable Cortana, but I can also use this search bar to look for something straight from within the web, for example. So I can say weather in Toronto, and it will automatically pull it up for me here. So without having to even go and open up my browser, I can search straight from within this search bar and easily get the information that I'm looking for. With Cortana, as we open up this app here, when once you accept, you can start using her as your digital assistant to maybe book some time into your calendar, book a meeting with an individual, and so on. Now, another thing that I wanted to show is the Action Center within Windows 10. The Action Center is just at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, and it pretty much looks like a rectangle. So when you click on this, it's actually going to open up a flyout menu, and it will come out from the right. What the Action Center does is that it's going to show you all of your notifications. So if you got a new email, or if you got some sort of notification from one of your apps, it's going to highlight all of that here. But then it also allows you to access some quick settings and controls. So being able to turn on or off your location, you can turn off or on your Bluetooth. But one special feature that I want to show you is the nightlight feature. So when we turn on the nightlight, this basically softens your screen here, and it can really help with individuals who have sensitive eyes. This is a really great productivity tip for myself. The nightlight just really helps me, again, reduce that eye strain. But then we also have things like accessing our settings straight from here. But the most important ones that I really want to highlight is Focus Assist. So as you see or saw, I had that turned on. But Focus Assist will basically help you with basically just focusing on everything that you want to focus on now, and it can reduce the amount of notifications that are coming in. So there's an option to set Focus Assist, so only priority items will jumpstart into your notification settings. Or if you click on it one more time, this disables all of the notifications, but will allow alarms to work. So this is actually a really great tool for myself. I do get distracted quite easily. So with Focus Assist, that actually just helps me, again, focus on my task at hand. Speaking of which, I'm just going to open up Word again. And I'm going to go into View. Now, the reason why I am bringing Word back up is because we also have a focus section within our Office applications as well. Especially within Word, I've noticed that if I'm writing reports or essays or something like that, sometimes, again, I can easily get distracted. So when we click on this focus icon within our ribbon, this exists within our View tab. But you can also use this the search bar within the Office applications, search for focus. And when I click on this, it's going to remove everything in the background, and all I see is the document that I am working on. So again, this just reduces the amount of notifications that are coming in, and I can't see if Teams is pinging me or if I have a new email coming in. This is a really, really great tool for that. Going back into the Action Center, another great tool here is the Screen Snip. So I'm just going to click on this. And what it will do is it will allow you to screen snip your entire screen, or maybe one section, like so. This is another great feature. Say I'm looking for some research or some inspiration for content. With the snipping tool, this can just help me maybe capture some quick data. Even in my day-to-day work, if I need to snip something like how many people have attended a meeting, just so I can remember it and it's top of mind for me, I can quickly paste it into my OneNote and then put it into my reporting tools afterwards. To access the screen snip within Windows, you can also click on the Windows key, Shift and S, and it will also then pull up that snipping tool for you. So just as an example, I'm going to snip one more time. And I want to show you another reason why this is an effective tool. Say you're on a call with an individual, maybe a colleague or a peer that you're working with and collaborating together on a document. When I go into my Action Center, I was able to click on that snip, and now it opens up this Snippet and Sketch window. From here, I can start to ink on this image. So I can say, oh, Maria, this is where this focus button is. I was able to snip my screen, etc. And then I can even save these images or copy or even share. Now going into the Action Center, I also want to show you certain settings that can help you, again, customize your experience while you're on this Windows 10 operating system and working together with other people or on special projects that you have here. So we can go into the ease of access settings. And I would definitely recommend that each person look through your personal settings within each application and also within Windows as well, just to get your general settings and really customize it to the way that works best for you. Within the ease of access settings, this is great for accessibility, but it's not limited to just that either. As you can see, I have my mouse pointer here that is orange, and it's much larger than a regular cursor that is set by default. And this can really come in handy, especially if you're presenting with people. Maybe you're presenting your screen and you want to have your cursor stand out. That's just a great tool. We can also go into text cursors. We can use a magnifier to help zoom in on certain areas. We can also apply color filters as well. So for individuals who may have color blindness, for example, we can adjust these color filters so it works to our own abilities. Same thing with the high contrast. But one thing that I really wanted to show that I really appreciate is in this audio setting. And we have this ability to turn on mono audio. So that means that if you're wearing headphones or earphones, for example, turning on this mono audio will combine the left and right audio channels into one channel. Why is this a productivity feature? For me, I typically like to wear headphones or earphones while I'm working, but if I have these headphones on, it's hard for me to hear things that are going on, maybe in case someone at home is trying to call me or something. This mono audio will allow me to wear one earbud in, for example, while I work, but also be able to hear things that are going around with me. So I'm just going to exit out of this here. And before I jump into Q&A, there is one more feature that I wanted to show here. And you may notice this task view just at the bottom of your taskbar here. If I click on this, this is going to open up our timeline within Windows 10. So you'll be able to see things that you accessed earlier in the day. But what I want to point out here is that you can also add in a new desktop. So as you can see on my first desktop, I have OneNote open as well as Cortana, and I'm also presenting my screen within desktop 1. If I go into desktop 2, this is going to create a new virtual desktop for myself. And the reason why this can come in handy is because, for example, if you're like me, I use my computer for almost everything. If I am gaming in the night, I may want to maybe keep my social media channels on one desktop. And then to keep myself focused without having to close everything down and then reopen it afterwards, I can have a separate desktop open. That just clears my view. Again, technically it doesn't fully close, but it shows as if all of my other applications are closed here. So that just means, again, I can work on the task at hand. And these desktop views will help me so I'm not closing down all of these other applications or tabs that I have open, and I can always go back to it afterwards. Perfect. So these are pretty much the things that I wanted to showcase here. I also wanted to just point out that Cortana also exists within or beside your search bar here. So I was actually searching for Cortana because before she actually appeared here, or it actually appeared within the search bar. But with Windows 10's update, it now has moved to the side here. Some other few tips that I would recommend is that you pin applications that you use on a daily basis or very frequently. You can either pin them on your taskbar here. So just as an example, I have Teams, Outlook, and my Edge browser pinned. But if I go into my start, I can also pin other things like apps that I love to use. You can also pin certain documents here as well. But just as an example, with Google Chrome, I can right click and I can either pin to start, or there is another feature where I can, oh, actually, no, that's right. We can pin to start, and then it will appear within my taskbar here. So again, these are just some quick ways that can really help you customize your experience on Windows 10 so you can easily access applications that you love to use. And then there are just additional tools that you can always take a look at to help you work a little bit more productively. So that being said, this was a pretty quick demo or workshop, but I want to make sure that we have time to address any questions. If you do have any requests or any scenarios that you would like to bring up, then we'd be happy to go through all of them. So I'm just going to check in with Maria and see if we have any questions in the Q&A.
Hi, Amanda. Great presentation. Thank you so much for all the demos. So we have quite a bit of questions that came through our Q&A chat. And again, if anyone has any more questions, located at the top right corner of your screen is where you can find the speech bubble icon to be able to ask any questions. So there is quite a few. Maybe I can go through some so that you can demo. I have answered them all, but so at least they can see firsthand on what to click. There's one user here who has multiple Microsoft accounts and finds that it's always confusing and difficult to know which account they're using and which to switch, whether it's school, personal, work, etc. Would you mind just showcasing how you can switch on, say, an Office application like Microsoft Word, and also how you can do this on Microsoft Teams? I typed an answer, but just so we can demo, and in case anyone other users do have a similar question.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Maria. So for you to be able to switch between your applications, it's always good to just double check and see which account you're on when you're on a Office app. So just at the top here where my cursor is, towards the top right, you can see that this is my demo team account. But as I click on it, I can actually switch over to my work profile. If this does get confusing and maybe I don't use my personal account, for example, within these Word applications, I can always access the ellipses and remove them. So just like so, sign out. And then from here, I can always add in more accounts if I'd like to. So I hope that was able to clarify your question. Within Teams, let me just quickly open up a Teams window here. My apologies. So it's just loading here. There you go. All right, so for you to be able to switch between your accounts within Teams, you may notice just at the top right-hand corner, you can find your digital identity within Teams. This is where you can find your profile picture. You can either sign out and then it will prompt you to sign into another account. Or if you're, for example, a guest at another organization, you can click on this drop-down menu and switch to a guest account within another org. However, do keep in mind that if you have two different accounts like me, where I have a Microsoft account that I use for work, and then this Contoso account, I will have to sign out of Teams first and then sign back in. So I hope I was able to address that. Oh.
Thanks, Amanda. So this same person actually also mentioned they have multiple Outlook profiles too. Is that the best way to handle multiple Microsoft accounts? Just to kind of add to that, it really depends what your main goal is. On Outlook, this is really just to see your emails. So if you want to see emails on different Outlook accounts, maybe Amanda, would you mind just showcasing how to do that?
For sure. Let me just see here. Oops, my apologies. So within our demo account, you can always add another inbox if you'd like, or like connect to another account just by going into File, Account Settings, and then you can manage profiles. So you can add and remove profiles. However, just to kind of add to what Maria has said, I would typically recommend that you have separate applications for different use cases. So just as an example, I don't use Outlook for my personal email. Instead, I use my email on the web browser, or I have a mail app within Windows here, which is like the standard mail application. So again, I would just recommend that if you do have maybe a school account and then a personal account and a work account, that you probably at least keep the work and personal separate, or like school and work separate. But again, it's just entirely up to you how you like to organize your inbox. I would just say that you always should try to keep your work one separate, just so it's easy for you to differentiate between the other accounts that you have. Do we have any other questions, Maria?
Hi there. Yes, so we do have more questions coming in. So someone asked, OneNote asked me to sync, yet it shows that I am signed in as my business account. Is there a resolution that maybe you can show the syncing button on OneNote? That could help to troubleshoot possibly.
Sure. So, whoops. So over here, you can actually check the page sync status. If I click on my notebooks here, I can right click and then sync, and then I can say sync this notebook or sync all notebooks. I hope I was able to address that.
Awesome. We have another question here. Would multiple desktops answer the question about multiple Outlook profiles? Oh yeah. So what I would recommend is you can do the demo that Amanda did, where you added a different account. Another option as well is on Outlook, you can also create profiles. So that could probably be another solution. If you didn't want all your emails in one dashboard, if you want to completely have a separate profile, you can do so as well. Amanda's actually clicking a few things to show you how you can add a profile.
So just to go back to that question, if you add in a virtual desktop, this won't change the accounts. This is going to exactly mirror all of the accounts that you already have, I guess, synced at the moment. The virtual desktop is more so to help you keep the rest of your tabs open. So just as an example here, sometimes I like to share my computer with my nephew so he can play some games. But I don't want him to close down any of the important tabs that I may have up, just so I know that I have some things to follow up with tomorrow. So what I do is I'll set up this second desktop here. So it shows as if it's a whole new screen. It started fresh. I don't have anything open anymore, so he can't go ahead and close any of my tabs here. Same thing applies if, for example, you're using your computer for work, school, and personal. You can have 3 different desktops open. So one desktop for personal, one for work, and one for school, for example. But yeah, if you're looking to have multiple email accounts, again, I would just recommend having a few different applications for those and just keeping the personal separate from work.
Hi, Amanda. So lots of questions coming in. So I'm just going to read one out. I did answer to this one, so I'll just read out the answer as well, as this could help some people. So to the individual who asked about Teams login as well as other logins. So a follow-up question was, they find that, sorry about that. An example with Teams, I may click on a link to join a meeting. Then when I sign out and sign back into a correct account, I've lost the meeting. So that's because when you're switching an account, what happens is it logs you out of the current account you're signed in and signs you into the correct account you want to log into. An extension of that, by switching, since you're logging out of the first account, it closes any windows such as calls, because your second account might not have access to those call invites, or perhaps some documents might not be transferred through. So when you switch, it closes everything and then it signs you into your new account. So what I'd recommend, best practice is, if you want to join a specific meeting on a specific account, make sure that you're signed into the correct account first and then join the meeting. Sweet. So another question here we have is, how do you consolidate calendars between different accounts if you have work, school, nonprofit, personal? So perhaps maybe you can showcase Outlook overlay with multiple accounts maybe, or shared calendars. Yeah.
So within my Outlook here, I have a few different calendars. What you can do is you can always add calendars, either from like the internet, or you can import one of your calendars here if you wanted to add your second account. But what Maria is talking about here is, for example, we have two calendars open. One is my personal calendar, and then the other one is for the training team. If I click on view, I can actually look at the overlay and say, let's just switch back, take a step back here. I want to add in an event here, like so. Actually, let's just make this a little longer. There you go. So going back into view and overlay, it will then merge these two calendars together, so you can take a look at that there. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, I think that's a really good solution. Thank you. So another question here is, can I link tasks from Microsoft Project to Teams and OneNote and Excel when working on a project? I did look up, Amanda, that there is a Microsoft Project application on Microsoft Teams that you can link in. I'm not entirely too familiar with Microsoft Projects, so I'm not sure if you happen to know with OneNote and Excel.
Yeah, unfortunately, we don't work too much with Microsoft Project, but as Maria mentioned, we can add a project to the team. It's actually fairly similar to like tasks in Planner. So let's just go into Planner here. And it's the same thing where it's like a task management application. If you install this into your Teams environment, you can always pin these applications into your left-hand navigation pane as well, so you have that one-click access. From here, you'll be able to see all that are assigned to you. You can have your own tasks that you set up. And then you can also take out shared plans. For example, if you have certain planners set up within each Teams account, you can take a look at it in this specific view as well. But it looks like you can integrate project as an application into Teams, like Maria has said. So hopefully we were able to provide you with an answer.
Awesome. Thanks, Amanda. So another question here is, okay, in Microsoft Teams, I cannot open video records attached. How to solution? So for this individual who's asking about the video, would you mind elaborating a little bit? Perhaps is it a video recording for a meeting? Because if so, that's certainly something we can walk through, but we'll maybe wait for more details for that. Another question here we have from another viewer. When you copy a meeting from one calendar to another, can you prevent Outlook from adding copy to the meeting title?
Oh, that's a good question. Let's see. So I'm just going to close this training one here. And let's copy this meeting here that I scheduled for Maria. Go back into the training team. Oh, looks like that copy didn't work. So I'm just going to my apologies. For some reason, it's not letting me copy. But I believe that if you're copying and pasting it, a simple fix is just to go into that copy and just removing the word copy from the meeting. But I don't think that it is possible for you to copy it over into another calendar and not have that word copy in there. I believe that's just how it's set up within Outlook. But please keep me honest here, Maria, if I'm wrong.
I think that it's correct. What you stated. So there is one other question here. Can you use dictate in OneNote?
Oh, that's a good question. It looks like you cannot.
Oh, there should be.
I thought so too, but I don't seem to. Oh,
right
sorry,
here.
there you go. My apologies. So yes, there is the dictate feature within OneNote. So just as an example, let's see if it's going to work here. Yeah, so unfortunately, it doesn't look like it's working right now for this notebook, but yes, there definitely is that feature here. Are there any other questions that we can address here, Maria?
Yeah, I'm just going to read through some of these just for clarification. Someone asked, can you show how to use shared calendars in Teams? So currently at the moment, Microsoft Teams only has your personal work calendar. It doesn't include shared calendar. Unless you want to see your personal calendar for your individual accounts, you can use the switching icon that Amanda showcased earlier by clicking your profile and switching your account. Other question here, project is on the roadmap, but I don't believe it's in Teams yet. Planner is available now. There could have been an update recently because we're able to see project on our end. That honestly could be very recent, but you should be able to search it using the app search that Amanda just showcased on the screen. And from there, I believe that's all our questions. So I'll hand it back to you. Oh, actually, one came in. Someone said that shared calendars is now available. I'm not sure if you have this, Amanda, but I don't personally have shared calendars on Microsoft Teams. Do you happen to, or
So
might have received the update?
yeah, I don't think our demo accounts have actually received that update yet. However, shared calendars are only available within Teams and channels. So if you go into your calendar tab, like so, we don't have a view that we can change it over to, say, like my personal calendar or like the shared calendar. Unfortunately, again, I don't think that our demo account has updated this yet. But you are right, there is an ability to have a shared calendar, but only, again, within Teams and channels. So I do apologize, we don't have the ability to demo that out today.
Perfect, thanks, Amanda. Perhaps maybe we can show everyone how to suggest a feature on Teams. And on that page as well, there is also a roadmap link, so maybe we can showcase that. In the meantime, I'll post some resources into the chat. Perfect,
thank you, Maria. So as Maria mentioned, within Teams, there is a help button at the bottom left-hand corner. If we click on this, there's some great learning resources that you can refer to. If you click on topics, you can search for things like how to plan a meeting. You can also find popular topics like blurring your background, recording a meeting. I know someone asked about videos, so maybe you can even search within here and saying like using a video in Teams. And then you can also go into the training tab. And this actually provides you with a lot of rich media that you can use, such as, again, videos that you can watch. There are some PDF guides that you can take a look at and some articles as well. If you go into the What's New tab, this is where you'll be able to learn more about the new features that have been integrated into Teams. So with Teams, this is a fairly new application that has joined the Office or Microsoft 365 family. So we are constantly adding new features to Teams every month. And as Maria mentioned, within this help button, you can also go ahead and suggest a feature. So if there's something that hasn't been added into Microsoft Teams just yet, but you think would be a really great feature, then we definitely recommend that you go in and suggest it. And hopefully our engineering team will be able to implement those in the near future. So this actually was one of my first resources that I was going to say that you can look into after this event. But Maria is also going to be sharing 3 different links. Just starting off with the first one, the docs.microsoft.com. This is a free website that you can use, and it can take you to a directory where you can take a look at all the different topics and applications. So just as an example, if you wanted to learn more about Microsoft Teams, you can learn more about Teams here. There's also some training that you can take a look at as well. But that also leads me to our next link, which is support.office.com. And this is probably one of my favorite websites. I go on this probably every day to make sure that I am keeping myself honest when I am delivering these demos to you. You can go ahead and choose the different applications here. So for example, if you wanted to learn more about doing something on Outlook, you can click on that, and then you can learn with the Get Started guide. They have some videos here, but also some instructions on how you can do certain things as well. But as we scroll down, you'll also have like cheat sheets that you can use as well, and like quick start guides as well. Like so. So if I click on see these guides, we can go into downloadable guides as well. So if we view this PDF for OneDrive, for example, then we can take a look at that, and it pretty much walks us through a lot of these different features within each of these applications here. So if you, again, wanted to learn more about certain applications, then these guides are really, really great resources that you can use. And again, someone mentioned projects, so you also have this here as well. Now, the last thing that I'm going to leave you with are keyboard shortcuts. If you're like me and you like to navigate around applications and your computer using keyboard shortcuts, then this is going to be a really great game changer for you, as it is for me. So you can take a look and see what different keyboard shortcuts there are in Word, for example. And this can just show you how you can work a little bit more efficiently just by using these keyboard shortcuts to open up some commands or some tasks. So that being said, this is pretty much our entire presentation for today. I just wanted to thank you all so much for attending, and we hope you found it valuable. And we hope to see you all again soon. Thank you so much, everyone, and we hope you have a wonderful day, wonderful night, or a wonderful evening. Take care.